whenever you are ready to roll, you tell us roll.
Okay.
So tell us roll.
Now?
No, whenever you are ready to roll.
Okay.
You are ready to roll?
Rolling.
Oh, you okay? You said roll. Ashish, my friend, so
Hi.
good to see you. Listen, have we had a Talkies before with you?
Once, but
We
that
had it in
was a
Bombay.
panel.
It was no, we had it in a panel where you had Rajiv,
In
Mona,
Radisson, yes.
and the three of you, and we were supposed to have one in Bombay when we did one with Sameer Nair
Yes,
and the
that I
cast
could
of
not make it,
Scam
correct.
92. But that you had to fly back or something
Yes,
that time.
yes.
We missed that, yeah?
Yeah.
But welcome to Chrome Talkies, my friend.
Thank you very much.
You know why I do these shows of Chrome Talkies? I get to meet lovely friends like you again and again and again.
Of course.
That's the only
It's our
incentive.
pleasure too.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you for coming all the way. And how are the times at times now?
The times at times are good.
No, but
It's-
life must be very difficult now. From a CRO, now you're finally CEO, you're looking after the entire business, right? So
Oh,
was
yes.
it better pehle or is it better now? Be honest about it.
Frankly, it's completely two different, aspect of life, especially when you're doing business. At the initial years of our industry, which
Yeah.
was, when we joined TV industry, I think revenue was a very impactful, position to be in.
Yeah.
Because business was growing. As revenue people, you were able to convert businesses very fast, and that's where you learned the tricks of the trade. Because things were doing the things were always looking upwards.
Yeah.
But the challenging time started coming after the COVID hit, and of course post that era, I think the major learning for me has been post the COVID era. It is always good to see yourself growing when the environment is growing.
Yeah.
But it is most difficult for one professional to hold on to that experience when the times are bad.
Yeah.
And then you come out of solutions. And that has taught me last 7 to 8 years, being in a CRO role, I started to build a perspective of this business from a perspective of growth and not just holding on to the business.
Yeah.
So when you think about growth, you think about new ways of making money, you think about new ways of doing business, and because of which you start to innovate into your own industry to build more products.
Yeah.
And when you're building more products, that is where the overall 360-degree understanding of business comes in.
Yeah.
And de facto, you become a business head of that particular thought process.
Yeah.
And that helps you to grow to the next role, which is the CEO
Yeah.
role, because that's where you understand now that if you're building a product from the scratch,
Yeah.
how you build it cost effectively, because you're already seeing the industry is under stress. So
Yeah.
you cannot make a product which may not make money in future.
Correct.
So I think this 7-8 years in my earlier role gave me a huge perspective and huge experience to actually take today's CEO role little more, fruitfully, I would say. And now, actually being in the role, I think it is really helping me to craft my own skills
Awesome. But they say with authority comes accountability
and responsibility
and responsibility and pain.
and pain
And
of
money,
course.
maybe, hopefully. So all of them go hand in hand, but it is still challenging, right? See, in today's scenario, running a news network, because news is a hugely competitive space, right? 300 plus news channels fighting for the same viewer, and life gets difficult because now it's not only this linear TV, you are fighting with YouTube, you are fighting with WhatsApp, you are fighting with every form of screen.
Absolutely.
Right? Hugely difficult making running a profitable business. So earlier as a CRO, money not come in, you lose the incentives. But now it gets difficult, right? Managing the bottom line.
Absolutely. First of all, I'll speak about news. News as a pillar of one as a content pillar is the most authentic content pillar. Okay, and not just in India, across the world, news is under stress of the business. But news as a content piece is only growing.
Yeah.
News is no more a domain of any individual or any collective, bigger entities. Today, everybody is creating news.
Yeah.
But that creates further complication of whether the news is authentic, whether it is credible.
Yeah.
So the fake news, the volume of fake news has grown.
Yeah.
the volume of, I would say, the volume of unnecessary news has grown.
Yeah.
Okay, frivolous, information has grown.
Yeah.
Which then tends to kind of, come back to the question
Yeah.
whether the news should be a domain of certain credible institutions rather than a domain for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So and that is something which I think the whole world is grappling with.
But that's again against the concept of user-generated content to a great extent, right? Because
Yeah.
everyone is a news reporter, everyone is breaking news, everyone is creating content. So I mean that's the premise on what social media became such a huge giant on user-generated, right? But limiting information content to a select few credible organizations might possibly not be the way forward. Is my apprehension.
So I think there has to be a good mix of both.
Yeah.
Because every content requires scale
Yeah.
and volume.
Yeah.
Right. But is that scale and volume bringing trust, credibility, authenticity? That is important. Otherwise, what happens is that a lot of fake news can create a lot of disinformation or misinformation.
Yeah.
And that is the reason credibility has always been the main pillar of the news organization.
It's been the credibility.
Yes, and because of which it was always been regulated. Now everybody cannot become fourth estate. Fourth estate is called because it comes with responsibility, it comes with credibility, and it has a point of view it has a responsibility towards the society.
Yeah.
Right? You and me may not be responsible. I mean, as an individual, I just may speak my mind, but it may be detrimental to the society.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. In that case, you are not fourth estate.
Yeah.
You're just a person disseminating some information.
Got it.
So hence, having news per se as a genre, it has to be under the domain of certain institutes. I won't say institute, under the domain of, let's say, the credible people. Hence, social media also, though it's just a platform, when the news is disseminated through credible handles, that is when it becomes authentic.
Yeah.
So I think that is where also each of us has to start playing a role.
Yeah.
That while you used to earlier put news into paper or onto a TV channel, now you have a social media and other digital platforms to put forward that same news and make it travel fast.
Yeah.
So I think even when it comes from the handles of credible institutes, same news or same video thrown by somebody else suddenly becomes credible because it's been now taken by a credible handle.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Absolutely.
So I think that's my point of view.
Very nice. I completely agree with you there. So India is a huge market, 144 crore people. That translates to almost 34 crore homes or 344 million households. TV homes in India are amongst the largest in the world at 222 million, which includes cable and satellite, pay DTH, free DTH, and now smart TVs. So that is a big market.
Absolutely.
Right? But parallelly, it's an equally challenging market.
Absolutely.
Right? So how do you run a news business in such a complicated market? What's your view on that?
So you are absolutely right. It's now becoming more and more complicated. Earlier, 200 plus million homes were all purely linear homes, and it was very easy to put forward.
Earlier, if we talk about 2000 during the KBD when we were in the Star office, that time it was being on the color band or prime band. And Star Plus would be on the prime band, which meant that you are reaching every single cable and satellite home.
Yeah, correct. And now, because of the capacity of the cable homes improving with the decoder boxes and all, so it's a fight of EPG there. But again, that's purely only linear. Right now, the bigger fight is now coming from the smart TVs. How do you get onto those smart TVs? Within the smart TVs, there are different technologies. Then, of course, today the streaming is happening on YouTube.
Yes.
Right. That
third-party apps.
Gives you a much larger.
Sorry, please hold on to your thoughts. But since you've raised the thing, today there are 80 plus OEM brands in India. So there's Samsung, LG, Xiaomi, Sony, TCL, OnePlus. The list goes on and on. There are 3 types of OEMs, which is smart TVs, smart box, or a Fire Stick, which you insert.
Absolutely.
And then there are 7 different OSs, operating system. You got Tizen, Android, WebOS, Google TV, Oxygen Play, Vida, which is on LG, Patchwall. Now, if you take this combination of 83 and 7, technically, life has become more complicated when there are 50,000 cable operators.
Yeah, so the distribution teams are having more problems.
No, but the liability falls on you.
Yes, of course. So what I mean to say is that my distribution teams are, becoming more smart and more technical.
Yeah.
Earlier they had to just, deal with the cable operators, but now they have to, of course, meet up with these OEMs and the, OS players, etc. More so, the deals have become more complicated because of the, dealing with these people. Because firstly, these digital screens or the OEMs does not fall under the regulation of the, Cable TV Act.
Yeah.
And because of which everybody has their own rules.
Yeah.
Through ALTD, we have, as in TRI is already trying to figure out a way of a framework to partially or regulate in a more softer manner in these kind of streamings also. Now, while the industry is divided currently whether it should be regulated by TRI or not, I will not right now put forward any point of view on that, but I'm just giving you a perspective that.
But what is your view? Should it be regulated or not? My view, nothing can be regulated.
Then
My
it
view,
has
nothing
to
can
be,
or should be regulated beyond the
But
point.
then it has to go to the linear, television. Same rule
Same
has
as well.
to apply.
That's what I'm saying. So nothing can be regulated beyond a point, right?
Correct. Beyond a point.
Beyond a point. But how? So linear was regulated because there are a finite set of players, finite set of operators. You've got a finite ecosystem. But when it comes to digital today, I'll give you an example. There are players selling TVs by a dime a dozen with pre-loaded fast channels from all over the world. It is humanly impossible to control that. So you've got fast content running on digital.
You can control the technology. It's not impossible because
the content.
Because even the content which is going on, if your OEM or let's say any operating system player who is through software disseminating this content or these channels can be regulated. It's not an issue because the feed which we are sending is very similar to the feed going to the other cable operator, etc. It is just that being the process is through digital ecosystem.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying that it needs little more coordination between because the revenue monetization is not very clear right now. Earlier it was very clear the ads which are running are controlled by the broadcasters and content creators. Now everybody wants a piece. Right from operating system to ad tech guy to the OEM guy wants a piece of advertisement also, which is actually not their domain. Right? And that is where the bigger issue is that today as content creators, right, what we used to earlier get money back from and there used to be a certain margin, that margin is gone. Whatever content we are creating, it is not sufficing, the revenues coming back is not sufficing to put us onto the digital screen. So if you see today, fast channels are not making money.
They are not.
While
they're getting
the
reach.
alleged number is more than 40 million homes. But then why it is not making similar kind of money what it should, what 40 million homes
I think the answer
TV
lies.
making.
The answer probably lies in what you started off with. Still, there's a huge lack of clarity on the monetization models. For example, on fast content, now I know of some OEM players charging premiums to be on the landing page. Now we had the longest battle on the cable side on the landing page.
Correct.
Now that the landing page is gradually vanishing, but you're getting the same problem on digital. So if you want to on that player, you pay a premium, otherwise you don't show your window.
Exactly. And now if there is no at least slight regulation on that piece, or the rules are similar to the cable operators or the DTH players, then there is a disparity, right? And that is something one has to address it by understanding and doing deep dive into every aspect of the business point of view, and then coming out with the proper recommendation rather than we just either completely saying it should be regulated or it should not be regulated at all. There has to be a certain way we have to move forward from the perspective of that the way new technology is disseminating the content. But at the same time we cannot also not say that what helped television to business to grow may not be applied here, right? I'm only talking about as is basis. I'm not talking about VOD, video on demand content creation, which is going on to digital platform as a very different aspect. But streaming channels where there is a parity of dissemination of content, whether it is done through one pipe or it is done by the other pipe, there the parity should be there.
Correct.
That is the only point I'm trying to.
I agree with you completely. We will talk about the most important thing that everyone's talking about, AI, right? But before we get into AI, Times as a network, right? You have interest in news, business, entertainment, digital, video. What, Ashish, in your view, has been the biggest shift in how people consume news in India? What's the biggest shift over the last 20 years?
Because of the AI.
No, not because of it. Generally, just I said before we get into AI.
Acha, okay.
So I want to talk about what's the shift. Like, so 20 years back, I will give you an example when a leading Hindi news, in fact, I think it was Aaj Tak when it was getting launched, I think around 2003 or 4, and people said, एक और news channel, Zee तो है ना एक, और एक दूरदर्शन भी था, and I think, I don't know which was, I think Star News, one, there were 3 or 4. The 4th news channel, are you serious? Today we're at 343. So obviously consumer ways of consuming news have changed, right? What is that shift in consumption?
See, actually, the question you're asking may not, the current situation may not even relate to the question you asked, actually. You know, because the way earlier, if you're saying that 4 to 340 or 34 channels, okay, it's same with every content piece, whether it's a sports channel, whether it's an entertainment channel, whether it is any infotainment channel or kids channels. Similarly, you have those many number. It is purely because the number of households watching television grew, okay, the number of people watching television grew, and hence everybody needed their own choice of content.
Got it.
And that is why the fragmentation which happened, and more so opportunity to see a lot of content came into play, and which is why you have so many news channels, etc. If you see most of the news channel in a day, 50% of news will be similar.
Correct.
Right?
Even saying
but
the same
different
thing in different
viewpoint.
formats.
But 50% of news, or maybe not 50%, at least 30 to 40% of news in each news channel will be slightly different, which means you're getting more than the common news you're consuming across, or the big news you're consuming across the news channels. So that helps with the more number of news channels. But that said, no more only TV is the major medium for watching news. It is, other platforms also which are now disseminating similar news. So you're getting varied I would say, viewpoints across the spectrum, across the platforms. Through on which lens you can watch news. Right? So that is something which one has to look at, basically. So now it is not what it used to be. It is not that you have Mahabharat happening and the roads are empty. Correct. You have an India-Pakistan match happening and roads are empty.
Or right? KBC happening. And
whichever way, I'm just saying, right? I will just take common program names. Okay, but that used to be the case. Now road does not need to be empty and still people watching the show. Right? Because it's there available on your mobile. So from that perspective, the opportunity to watch same content at same time has increased, which is a mass content. Opportunity to see specific content or curated content for myself has also increased. So it is like, it's on demand now. I can watch Mahabharat. All of us could be watching Mahabharat at one same time, right? At different devices at different time, or maybe collectively at home together on the large screen. Or all of us sitting here may watch different content at our different devices.
Correct.
So that is something which technology has helped us. Now, similarly, when it is a very big breaking news, everybody will be watching same news across platforms, across TV channels, across everything, because that is what matters at that time. If war breaks, everybody will be watching what's happening. The device could be different, right? Coming back to, but now that is something individual events. But what happens on a daily basis? What is your, daily bread end of the day for every content dissemination? That is something which is more important, because 365 days there is those big event happening across any content piece, not news, right? So something has to be seen every day, and that is where the advertiser comes and puts its money, because they are also not only advertising on the impact or any individual event days, right? They are also coming, they want to put their ad every day. That is where the television screen makes an important input there, because that is the only screen in front of which there are more than 3 people sitting.
Correct.
And you still have content which is compelling that appointment viewing. So now a long answer to a very short question basically is that all these channels have come up because ultimately it brings everybody in front of the large screen.
Got it. No, so you have actually, before we move to the AI, you've preempted my next point is CTV. So CTV has been the one hybrid which marries a TV to digital, right? So
Correct.
digital was like looking down, TV was looking up. Now you've got a CTV which you're looking everything. So CTV is now getting the living room as a high value advertising environment, right?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, it is absolutely. CTV is the high impact, advertising opportunity from the content creators' point of view. And if the devices, as the large TV, smart TV devices, and the content creators come together for a solution, a better solution of revenue management, I think then there is a huge opportunity there, because apart from bringing the audience together in front of one large screen,
Yeah.
it is at the same time addressable,
Yeah.
and credible. And flexible in
Yeah.
terms of measurement.
Yeah.
Right. And also, one can engage with the consumer
Yeah.
through the large screen today with
Yeah.
the new technologies available. So it's a two-way talking instead of a one-way talking screen.
Yeah.
What linear screen used to be. Correct.
Yeah.
Now I think that is where the whole opportunity lies.
Correct. I completely agree. Coming to the most important thing, AI, the role of AI at the Times News Network. Is it only helping with creative velocity, with data, with analytics, and how much of AI can a newsroom actually afford without compromising editorial judgment? We have AI anchors now on many networks. I don't know if you guys
but
have.
that's so what your AI anchor is one thing. It's only content creation.
Yeah.
Okay. But what you asked is a very different question. Let me say that firstly, I'm answering this more from a content creator point of view or newsroom point of view, not necessarily from a Times point of view. Okay. From my perspective, AI in the newsroom
Yeah.
is best seen as a co-pilot.
Yeah.
Okay. And not as the editor.
Yeah.
It cannot play a role of an editor.
Yeah.
It has to be a co-pilot. It has to help the journalist or the editor to finally create a much fast translation of the news they want to build. I say AI creating the biggest impact in the areas which can improve newsroom efficiency by speed,
Yeah.
by personalization, by multi-platform distribution. It can, and it can do all this without replacing the editorial judgment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is most important.
Yeah.
That editorial judgment has to come from the human being and not from the AI. Other point which I can possibly put is that also becoming extremely valuable in understanding the audience behavior.
Sure.
Okay, AI you can utilize to actually what we do today in most of the newsrooms. It is the research is done to first understand the topic.
Yeah.
Okay, but what we possibly a lot of time miss is the audience understanding.
Yeah.
What is audience wanting to hear?
Yeah.
Are we doing enough and more studies of the content or the news pieces which we are giving every day?
Yeah.
Ultimately, you're doing what you're doing news for politics. You're doing news for health, geopolitical events, crime. 5, 7, 8 bigger genres on which you every day put the news forward, right? And because of the similarity of the genre, you can use the AI's learning as to what audience is wanting to hear within that genres.
Yes.
Within politics, are they looking at the credibility or the explanation of what happened in that politics, right? Or rather than creating a judgment around it, having certain viewpoints which are not neutral.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that is where the AI can help that and then shape your conversation on screen.
Sure.
Through the understanding of the audience.
Sure. Absolutely. More on the measurement side, Ashish. So at Chrome Court now we've got something called the attention measurement, right? So beyond reach, frequency, impressions, TRPs, all kinds of standard measure. The one thing matrix that's missing today is attention measurement. So you're watching TV, you're watching Times Now network or Times Now. Would you be keen to understand the responses or the reactions of the audiences when they see an anchor A versus anchor B, story A versus story B, different day parts? So when you got a certain anchor who comes on screen, people are like, or you have anchor people who are like, listening attentively. How important is that kind of data for you? Attention measurement.
So attention is what is started to miss in the current ecosystem
all
of
passive.
the content, dissemination across various screens, etc. Is the most, I would say, attention is the most lost,
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
currency today.
Yeah.
And that is something need to be gained. And because of which, I think beyond reach, we require trust and relevance
Yeah,
of a
yeah, yeah.
content. Okay.
Yeah.
And if there is trust and relevance, which comes from credibility and authenticity,
Yeah.
that is, and also about the subject matter. So relevance from subject matter. That will something which will bring the attention better.
Yeah.
Because what is happening today, everybody is talking about reach and frequency. You're running against reach and frequency, because of which you are putting a content on a certain piece of platforms which may not be even relevant.
Sure.
Because it is more viral, it has more virality. You're trying to put that news at that time, right? If only political debates are working, then you're putting every day, a whole day debate on TV channels also, right? But I think there are much more subjects which needs to be discussed, and their ratings do not matter, or the reach and frequency, or the impressions on digital does not matter, because even if those 20 relevant people are watching,
Yeah.
that relevant news,
Yeah.
that is where the impact is coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hence, attention to the matter of subject is very important.
I agree with you. So if you had attention matrices, would you club that in your sales tools?
100%, because that
We
is
have
something.
we're meeting you with a pitch next week. Moving on to the next most important thing and the last question.
You're also a very good salesperson.
Well, I'm trying. I've never been a salesperson. You've been the king of revenue for a big conglomerate before this. So lots to learn from you when it comes to revenue management. But if you were to design an ideal measurement framework for cable and satellite, for OTT, for CTV, for everything put together, wherever your content reaches, what would that be? Would it be only attention, co-viewing, ratings, everything put together? What all are the dream matrices that you need for attention?
I think somewhere all of it, but the reach and frequency will always
Always be there.
remain important for scale,
Yeah.
and awareness.
Yeah.
But OTT, digital news, CTV, all these will bring in the measurability, flexibility, right? And it will help us to also get that, slightly much sharper target audience,
Yes.
etc.
Yes.
And when you want to sharp target audience, what does you require? Again, that attention matrix.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And that is where, if suppose I'm sharply targeting certain small segment only, how do I define that short segment? It is coming from relevant subject matter on which there are relevant audience which is available.
Correct.
And it's so sharp target is no more about geography and age factor.
Yeah.
Okay, it is now about relevance and the profile of the consumer.
Correct.
Because today you can very well define a profile of a consumer.
Yeah.
A 50-year-old man versus 20-year-old person, may require similar kind of facility.
Yeah.
And that is where, and you stay, and maybe the 31 doesn't want it,
Yeah.
right? So then how do you sharply target it?
Absolutely.
It is not purely age, this thing, it is about the preference, or the, what you call the attention to that particular subject matter is what is more relevant, my point of view. Ultimately, the industry will need a more unified measurement, which approach which combines scale, engagement, quality. Business outcomes are important today. So hence, if that can be built into it in some way, I think that is something which will fly.
I could not agree more with you on this, Ashish. It's been a fantastic time chatting with you.
Same
Always
here.
a pleasure meeting you, my friend. And
my
may
pleasure.
you do well. Always health, most importantly, career, everything. So thank you again for meeting up, and great pleasure. And we shall keep connecting.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on Talkies.
Thank you to the audience as well.